Hi everyone, and warm welcome to another wonderful video of the credit card life. And do forgive me for this background noise of waterfall. All right, so today's video is all about a situation wherein you do not have funds to pay your credit card, personal loan, or so-called home loan bills, and especially for personal loans and credit cards, so-called the unsecured loans in a nutshell. If you do not have the money in your pocket, then what all consequences can come, what all things you will end up facing, whether you'll go to jail or not, what are legal liabilities you may end up facing, all those situations discussion I'm going to do right now in 7 to 8 minutes of your time. Point number one, first of all, do not go ahead as NPA or do not become a willing default or willing full defaulter in case if you are facing a situation. So if you have money, pay it off. On the contrary, if you do not have money, do not need to be a defaulter. Talk it out and see if there's a way out for you guys to do it. So let's assume a situation where you have utilized a credit card or you have taken a personal loan, but right now, owing to your bad financial situation, you cannot pay money to your lender. What all things can happen? Point number one, they'll keep harassing you. Point number two, they'll keep sending so-called cheap advocate notices. And point number three, demand notice with the help of a lawyer. Now in all three cases, of course, they all have a value, they all have a required attention which you have to give, but you got to understand at the end of the day, if you do not really have funds in your pocket, then you have to settle down to a process called settlement. The process of settlement may look a little awkward to all of you, and it is awkward because when you go for a settlement, most of the companies and lenders do not give you loan or funding because you have not repaid the previous days. That is called a settlement. The settlement is not a lifetime kind of barred approach. You can always pay your funds back and get an OC. So that's number one. Number two, the agents, so-called the collection guys, they start bothering, they start torturing you. What you should be doing in such situation? Number one, you really need to ask them whether they are having a concrete documents when they come to your home to check about funds, to check about finances. Number two, you got to ask them whether they have the RBI notice which says that they have authorization to come back and meet you and any of your personal family members at your residence. In other cases, in most of the cases, anybody who comes to your home to collect money should not disclose your security or confidential matters to even to your mom and dad, because if they do, they'll be barring or they'll be spoiling the laws of rules and regulation, and that can backfire. Point number three, can you go to jail? You cannot go to jail. You have not committed a crime. You have not really murdered people, or you have not done a kind of a kidnapping or harassment, right? It's just a situation of yours where you are not able to refund or give money to your exact lender who gave you at a particular time. So talk them well, respect them, but do ask if they have a security card, also called a visiting card from XYZ office, if they have a letter from RBI which says yes, you have the authorization to go and meet. And number three, if they come up with a bad words or abuse you, any kind of tantrums, simply say, just go to hell, I'll see you in the court and see what you can do. They do not have any rights whatsoever apart from sending a demand notice and all these bullshit people, those who come and send notice and kind of letters and all those things. See, it is not at all advisable. It's not at all advisable to go as a default. But if you have a situation where you cannot fulfill the money, at least talk it out. At least convince them. At least promise them to pay that you're going to pay after, let's say, span of 6 months, 11 months, or 8 months, because you want to pay. You do not want to go as a default. You do not want to go under NPA willingly, right? But if you're doing it willingly, then sorry, this is not a video for you. Then you should always be paying your dues. But in case if you have a bad situation, so do not panic. Ask for documentation, ask for RBI notice, and most importantly, you can never ever go to jail in unsecured credit card loans of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lakhs. It's as simple as that. All right. Forget about mobile application. Forget about applications which people are talking or doing any kind of